let's go ahead and talk about the truths behind owning a Tesla or EV from our perspective. In Cali, we live in an apartment in California, and we don't have access to an adapter where we can plug our Tesla into the wall to charge it at nighttime. So we rely on superchargers to charge our car. We have to charge it every day, every night, or just once a day or once every night to go to work. It takes about anywhere between 20 30 minutes to charge it up from, let's say, 15% all the way up to 80%. But then again, we also use the slower charger. I believe it's a Type 3 charger. The faster charger will probably be like 15 20 minutes to charge it up. Tops. Now, when it comes to driving the Tesla, right now we're on FSD. If you can tell by this little blue dot right there, or that blue circle, we're driving on full. FSD is short for full self driving. This is full self driving supervised, which means that you have to always maintain positive control of the vehicle at all times. For those of you with your friend next to you say, see, it needs a full self driving. Well, listen here. When it comes to software, there will always be inherent errors with it or problems with it. But even with all the problems the Tesla has, it is still safer than a human driver on average. Right now, we're driving a whole trip from Texas to California on full self driving right now. And we are using hardware 3. Hardware 3 is, I believe, the first hardware to come out. No, correction, it's the second one to come out with full self driving on it. The first one, I believe, was 2.5 or something, or it could have been hardware 3 as the first full self driving software. Now, with this, and for those of you who don't know what hardware 3 is or hardware 4 is, hardware 3 compared to hardware 4 is night and day. It refers to the computers of the vehicle. Right now, it's letting me to put my hands on the steering wheel. This is one thing you got to do. Just apply a slight pressure to the steering wheel so it knows that you're still awake. Because there's also a camera up here. You can see it right above the mirror. There's a camera right there that's watching you. But because we have dark complexion skin, it cannot see us. So it tells us to apply a slight force on the steering wheel to let it know that we're still awake. But hardware 3, hardware 4. Hardware 3, hardware 4 deals with the hardware. Hardware is something that you can touch, tangible things you can touch. Software is the program applications that runs the computer itself. Software, the programs, the numbers. Hardware 3 compared to hardware 4 is night and day when it comes to FSD. When we first test drove a Tesla, we test drove it using hardware 4. Oh my gosh, I was amazed. This thing, it drove by itself from the parking spot. Literally, we swiped up on the screen like this and put it in drive. It just took off and did everything. It literally took off from the parking spot we were in and pulled all the way into the driveway and parked perfectly in the driving the parking space for our destination. I was like, holy crap, this is freaking awesome. And then we test drove a Cybertruck, and I was like, I wasn't a fan of Cybertruck from the get-go, full disclosure, because I just don't like the way it looks, to be honest. But that thing is nice inside. I mean, it is freaking beautiful. If I had a work truck, it would definitely be a Cybertruck. I'm a big guy, and I put this front seat all the way back in as far back as it could go. Then I went in the back seat to sit behind it, and I still have room up there. The same thing goes with a Model Y as well. I put my seat all the way back, and then I went behind it to go sit just to make sure I have enough room behind it for passengers, and I still had enough room. I still had enough room to move my feet freely and be comfortable behind the driver's seat. The Model 3 I cannot do that. I put my seat all the way back. I cannot even get my foot into the car. But going back to the Hardware 4, when we drove the Model Y, or correction, the Model X Hardware 4, we fell in love with it instantly. And as for the Cybertruck that we drove, we didn't like it. I was like, it drives different. It drives. I didn't feel safe driving the Cybertruck on full self driving because I didn't feel safe at all. It did weird things, like it was not staying in the lane while I drove and stuff. And the guy tried to explain to me at the time, it's because it's running Hardware 4. I was like, okay, can you just upgrade it to Hardware 3? Or he said because it's running Hardware 3. I was like, okay, can you just upgrade it for Hardware 4? He said, no, that's not the way the upgrade works. The way the upgrade works is, one, the hardware has to be compatible with your vehicle. And as of now, it's not compatible. So if you want to upgrade your vehicle that has a Hardware 3 to Hardware 4, it's not going to work out. Tesla put out that they are waiting to accomplish full self-driving unsupervised, meaning that the vehicle will drive all by itself, no human interaction. Hopefully you can fall asleep or watch a movie while the vehicle drives all on its own. Tesla said that once they go ahead and solve that problem, then they'll go ahead and try to retrofit, or they'll go ahead and work on the problem with retrofitting vehicles with Hardware 3 up to Hardware 4, or a better version of it, or some type of version of it. Rumor has it that that Hardware 3 is not going to be upgraded to Hardware 4. It might be something between Hardware 4 and Hardware 5. If you guys are wondering about Hardware 5 is going to be, or supposed to be, the best full self-driving on the market. Hardware 4 is already capable of unsupervised full self-driving, as they are starting to be used in robotaxis around the country. Now, Hardware 5, when it comes out, is supposed to be. The computer on there is a whole lot faster. I cannot remember the specs off by heart, but if I recall correctly, it's 500 times faster than the current processor in Hardware 3. Definitely. I think Hardware 3 is the processor between 200 to 300, and Hardware 5 is, I want to say, 2,500. So yeah, it's a big difference, big difference in the speed. What else was I going to tell you guys about? Oh, charging the vehicle. Now, the Hardware 3 does have some inherent errors within it. You'll notice when you drive, such as this vehicle is known for rear-ending people. Before, like I said, your friend says, "See, I told you so." Even with that being said, when you drive it, you know when to expect these errors when they occur. I haven't drove Hardware 4 enough to see if it still has the same problem. But yes, there have been some times where we had to intervene. We had to hit the brakes, not anything major, just slightly nudge the brakes to slow the vehicle down to avoid hitting the vehicle in front of us. I think the problem with that is it doesn't happen too much in California, but in Texas, definitely. I don't know why, but Tesla just don't like driving on FSD in Texas. Here in California, I don't think I've ever seen a problem until we got to Texas. But I think the problem is when it's driving on a freeway, it's not expecting to see a stopped vehicle in the middle of the road. So it doesn't really know what to do or what to expect when it sees a stopped vehicle in the middle of the road. So it just continues like it doesn't exist, like it's a mirror image or something. Some other errors we noticed as well. To be honest, these are errors that I have made myself as a human, where I had to slow down the vehicle to figure out what was going on. But the lines in the road, how the lines, you were seeing with the lines, they have double lines in the middle of the road. Some are faded and some are like newish. Well, In Texas, once again, the lines they both looked pretty newish, and it was hard to tell which line was which without already looking at the road to figure out, okay, this is the line I'm supposed to be following, or following the vehicle in front of you. If I didn't follow the vehicle in front of me, I probably would have been lost myself. So these are simple errors that I have made as a human myself. Most of the time, Tesla did pick up about what lines to drive by following the vehicle in front of it. Other times, it would just slow down and say, "Okay, take control of the vehicle," because I don't know what to do. But like I said, nothing major, nothing threatening to put us in danger. In fact, I have our 2 kids in the back seat sleeping, and I feel really safe that if we get in an accident, because right now there are lots of deers on the road right now, and possible drunk drivers out here, and if we were to get in an accident right now, I would feel pretty safe knowing that we have airbags all around us. Not only do we have airbags, but we have cameras, 360-degree cameras around the vehicle to record what happened, including the vehicle that hit us. So that could be a very good lifesaver when it comes to filing insurance claims or determining what happened during a crime. So that's probably was the main reason why I bought a Tesla for, because I have purchased aftermarket dash cams that didn't seem to work very much well for my vehicle. But this vehicle right here, I feel safe with my family driving it. Also, I know it has like an automatic braking system over here. When I say automatic braking system, that means this car will literally stop if someone jumps in front of it. It will maneuver around other vehicles. And since we're on the record, for those of you wondering, the rumor has it that this vehicle is supposed to pull over automatically when emergency vehicles are behind you, with the sirens on and the lights flashing behind you. To be honest, I tried testing that a few times, but I didn't feel comfortable enough to let it go to see what really happens. But in my experience, I think if you're on FSD, I think, don't quote me on this right here, but I think that it tells you to take over. Because the last time I had a emergency vehicle behind me, and it was about less than 50 feet behind me, and the FSD was telling me to take over. I'm not sure if it was because of the roads or if it's because the emergency vehicle behind me. But yeah, that's much about me rambling for now. If you have any questions, it's slowing down by itself. If you have any questions or want to know more, just put it down in the comments.